Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some Feed the Beast Departed for episode 4. Now, last episode we were trying to get ourselves up and ready to fight the Smash boss battle, which required us to get to level 12 on our Hunter skill, which you can see in the top right hand corner here. And since the end of last episode, I have been grinding for like hours over in the Extreme Hills biomes. I went to talk to Meaty. Meaty has already got to level 12, and he just said that he was grinding out for hours over in Extreme Hills. There's quite a few mobs over there that give you Hunter experience, but after hours and hours and hours of grinding that, I still didn't quite get to level 12, so we're not going to quite get there today, but I'm going to keep working on it between the episodes and try and get that up to level 12, but something else you may or may not have noticed is that we are in a new base. I went ahead between episodes and found a new place and set up some base. So we got these little mossy cobblestone blocks over here, and that's that horrible tree sound out there. Let me go and get rid of this guy real quick and also get rid of everybody else. We got this awesome jump from our armor. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, I love it. I love our armor. These guys are pretty cool. These are called Lotto Man. And these guys basically allow us to buy stuff. We get a gem bag for 5 silver coins. We can also do stuff for gold coins and just loads of gold coins for some magic repair dust. We don't have any of the coins required for those guys just yet. We have a lot of copper coins, I think, but we don't have any bronze. We don't have any silver or gold coins, so I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to do there. But anyway, yeah, we got this new house. We got a little farm, sugarcane, Botania stuff's all the way over there, and I think it looks pretty cool. We've got a little bit of a downstairs going on over here where all of our Tinker's Construct stuff is. Look at this. Basically all the same setup here as we had over at the old base. We have a tank at the bottom of it. We have some translocated, taking the lava from this little tank here and putting it into the smeltery. We do have tanks on both sides now, and I also made some of these seared windows, which are pretty much the same as seared bricks from Tinker's Construct, but basically they allow you to look inside and see what's going on. So if we were to grab some, say, iron and just go like that and throw it all in there, we could see the thing is full of iron, and when it's done, it'll go ahead and show some molten iron in there. I thought it looked pretty cool, just a little bit of a design feature more than anything else. But what I want to do today is I want to delve a little bit into the world of Thaumcraft. And the reason why I want to jump into Thaumcraft is because I want to get some automated mining up and running. Now, you may remember that I mentioned a little while back that we do have BuildCraft and Railcraft both installed on this mod pack. They don't come with the mod pack by default, but the server that I'm playing on had them on, so I have them installed in the pack. But I would like to, if at all possible, not really use them all that much. I'd like to use some of the default mods that are in the pack, and there's a really cool way to automate mining in Thaumcraft. It's called the Arcane Boy. You might have seen it before, but if you haven't, it's pretty cool, and I would like to try and get that as soon as possible. So, if we go ahead and hit H and go to Library, we can get ourselves the Thaumonomicon here, and basically the first thing that we're going to make is some tables. So let's grab that. Let's go ahead and get some slabs. And if I'm not mistaken, is it that? No. Let's see here. What's the recipe for a Thaumcraft table? It is. It's down here. Let's get to the table. It is. Oh, the other way around. Okay, so it's 3 slabs and 2 planks. That's not too bad. We're gonna go ahead and make quite a few of those. We're gonna need 3 to get started with here. So let's grab you, and get ourselves another one. And a 3rd one. Nice. So what we need to do with these is basically we can put 2 of them together. For now, I'm going to put them over here. I think eventually what I'd like to have is I'd like to have like a little room for Botania. I might like make another base, a little building like somewhere off in the distance. I'd like to also have like another building somewhere for Botania and all that kind of stuff. Right now, all of our Botania things are kind of just sitting out in the open down here. So I would like to move those in the future, but they're fine where they are for now. And basically what we can do is we can do this. And that gets us this guy, the Arcane Work Table. Now, for this one, I believe we need some scribing tools. So if we go ahead and type in scribing tools, we need these guys over here. This is made using either a glass bottle or a vial, some ink or some floral black powder from Botania, and a feather. Now, we have a feather, which is nice. That's probably the one that I was thinking we didn't have. We can get some powder very easily. We just take some petals, and I'm fairly certain we made a pestle and mortar at some point in the past. We did. We'll take that and ground that down into the black floral powder, and then a little glass vial. It shouldn't be too hard to make. We just need some sand. He says, suddenly realizing that we have... Oh, look at that. We got 2 glass. We need 1 piece of sand. Thankfully, there is some water nearby, so it shouldn't be all that hard to actually go ahead and get ourselves some sand. I also realized whilst fighting all of the mobs to try and get my hunter level up that this jade sword that we've got has a ton of durability on it. I'll show you in just a second once we grab this this sand here. But look at that, it's got 2,400 durability, so I hit like 500 times with this thing between last episode and this episode. This thing has a ton of durability. It's actually pretty fantastic. Let's try and not get killed by anything. I did light the area up around here pretty well, but I think that some of the Advent of Ascension mobs kind of ignore that and spawn anyway, so we're gonna have to watch out for that nonetheless. Let's throw you in there, and you in there as well. That should get us all the glass that we need, and then we can make ourselves a scribing tool. Whilst that's doing that, the next thing that we are going to need to make is a thermometer. So if we grab 2 shards, you can take any 2 shards, as well as 2 golden ingots, and in fact, we're going to need another piece of glass here. Also, we're going to need at least some gold, so I will go ahead. I'm fairly certain gold and iron doesn't form together to make any kind of alloy, so I think we're okay on that front. Let's head out real quick and see if there's any more sand nearby. There really should be down by this little lake over here. Okay, so once we've got that 3rd piece of glass, we can go ahead and make ourselves a glass bottle, and then combine that up with the black fall dye and the feather, and that gets us some scribing tools. And if we go ahead and right-click on these 2 tables, we get ourselves a research table. This is going to be really important to proceeding with Thermcraft. This is where we do all of our research to unlock all of the stuff we can do basically in Thermcraft. If we go ahead and look in the Thermonomicon again, and for instance, if we wanted to say unlock Nitor, it says you need some scribing tools and a paper in order to get this research node. Now, I'm fairly certain that we don't have any sugarcane. All of our sugarcane's down there. However, we do have Pam's Harvest Craft, so we could always make a presser. This thing is made using 2 pistons and 6 iron. So let me take some of that. I apologize for the flickering, by the way, on these barrels. That's some weird bug with Optifine and the Jabber barrels. I'm not quite sure what causes that, but hopefully I'll be getting rid of those barrels fairly soon. Probably replace them with some cool stuff from BiblioCraft. And if we go ahead and do something like this, get some wood, we should be able to make ourselves some pistons. We need cobblestone. Then we should be able to make ourselves some pistons. And then we can make ourselves a presser. And the presser is pretty cool. I'm fairly certain it can be used for making some kinds of food. But also, if we go ahead and do that and take this guy, it can be used for turning wood into paper. So if we stick the oak wood into the top there, you can see it doesn't require any power of any kind. But it is a little bit slow. But if we just leave that, we get paper. So I'm just going to leave that over there. With our lumber axe over here, you can see it's broken right now. We should actually just be able to do something like that and repair it. I'll go ahead and fix the whole thing up. Getting wood is actually not all that hard, especially in this... we're in a magic forest biome, by the way. We're in like a Thermcrafty biome. We have these massive trees, like absolutely humongous trees. My gosh, that was a loud explosion. But basically, well, that... Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to not talk to that guy. But basically, we have these massive trees. And with a lumber axe, I'm hoping not to get attacked by anyone here. I can see that guy there. I think he is indeed hostile. Fine. You asked for it. You asked for it. Oh, get out of here. Don't kill me. With these massive trees, basically what we can do is we can just hit the bottom. And our lumber axe does, of course, bring the whole thing down. So we just get an absolute butt ton of wood right there, which is very nice indeed. I will take all of that. And I could do with a little bit of a speed upgrade. We do walk fairly slowly right now. But basically, wood's not really an issue right now. We've got loads of the stuff. We don't have to worry about it. We just got like a stack, almost 2 stacks of wood from that tree right there, which is pretty nice. So, if we head back in here and grab ourselves some paper, we should actually be able to start with a little bit of Thermcraft research. For some reason, the NEI shortcut keys don't work in there. Like, I can't shift, right, click anything in or out. But if we take that, jump back into our Thermonomicon, and for instance, we wanted to unlock Nitor, we can click it. And we get ourselves this guy here, the research node from Thermcraft. Now, if we put it into the table, you can see, you've run out of ink. We do have to keep a scribing tool in there at all times. But you'll also notice that we're missing an aspect that we need in order to complete this research. And that is where the thermometer comes in. Now, if we take the piece of glass, stick it in the middle like that, go ahead and throw down 2 shards and get ourselves that 2 gold, that should be done by now, I think. Let's have a look in here. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wow, we've got lots of gold. All right, we'll take that. And if we go back upstairs, and wow. I'm so used to playing Feed the Beast Infinity where I walk so fast. I jump in this one and I'm walking really, really slow. But if we take that, we can go ahead and start scanning stuff. Now, I think we should be able to scan torches. That gets us lugs. And I think lugs is actually what we needed, yeah, to get the Nitor. Now, the way that this works is we've got to get our way from Ignis over to Lux. Now, Lux, if I'm not mistaken, is made up of Ignis and air, I think. Let's see, Ignis, air. Yeah, that made us an extra lux. You see that there? We can combine aspects down here to make other aspects. And what we have to do in here is what we can do is we can drag and drop. And what we have to do is we have to put next to it an aspect that is either used to make or made up of this aspect. And hopefully that makes sense. So basically, Ignis is used to make Lux. So with these two connects, there's like a little faint connection line there. And then because Ignis is used in Lux again, we can put Lux there. And then we can put Ignis there. And then we can put Lux there. Now there is a line of that blue line connecting them all up. And we can take the research out. And then if we go and right click, boom! Research complete for Nitor. And if we were to take another quick look into the Thaumonomicon, you can see there's now this little, like, blue spark next to it, and it now tells us how to make Nitor. Now, I would like to make some Nitor, because, personally, I'm not a huge fan of having torches everywhere, and as you can see right now, to try and stop mob spawning, we have torches absolutely everywhere. Both up here and down here, there are torches all over the place, both on the walls, and I especially don't like them when they're on the floor. And Nitor is basically like a source of light that I think is a little better than torches, but also it can float, it doesn't have to be on a block, and it's not as visible as torches are. So I'd like to make some, if at all possible. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make a cauldron, and then make a crucible from Thaumcraft. And the way we're going to do that is by simply making a normal cauldron from Minecraft, sticking it down somewhere. I think I'm going to stick this down in the basement, and you'll see why in just a second, because it does require a little bit of lava on the floor to work. Let's go and grab one of our pickaxes, actually, real quick. That one will do. We'll go ahead and stick this down above. We'll stick it down here for now. We'll put it there. And what we need to do is we need to put it over some form of source of heat. Now, you can actually use Nitor to heat up your cauldrons, but as you probably know by now, we don't actually have any Nitor yet. So, instead, the first thing we're going to use is lava. Now, the good thing about Nitor is it doesn't actually burn wood like lava does. So, once we do get ourselves our first piece of Nitor, we could go ahead and move this cauldron, which, to make a crucible, by the way, just right-click. Now it's crucible. We can go ahead and move that upstairs once we get our first piece of Nitor. But before then, let's go grab a quick piece of water, and let's see if we can make ourselves our first little alchemical recipe from Thaumcraft. So we've got a little unlimited water source. We'll take you. We also have some over there. The Botania mana pool is doing pretty well. I think it's still pretty empty. I only moved that over recently, and I did have to destroy the last one in order to move it over, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll go ahead and stick that down. Oh, nope. In there. For some reason I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think we cheesed the game a little bit. It's not supposed to go in there and on the floor, but it did both, which I'm not going to complain about. So if we look at the Thaumonomicon, basically, what this is saying is that we need to put 3 Potentia, 3 Lux, and 3 Ignis into the Crucible, and then throw in a piece of Glowstone in order to get ourselves our first piece of Nitor. So, in order to get the Ignis and the Lux and the Potentia, we have to find items that contain these aspects. Now, we know for a fact that torches contain Lux, because when we scrolled over it with this thing, you can see it shows a little icon for Lux, and it says a little 1 next to it. So, torches contain 1 Lux. So, we would need to throw 3 torches into that Crucible in order to get enough Lux to make a Nitor. Now, I know for a fact, because I've done this before, that coal contains enough Potentia and Ignis. Now, where's our coal at? Did we have that in a chest? We did. Let's take you. And if I go ahead and throw that on the floor, we can see that coal contains 2 Ignis and 2 Potentia. So, we need to get it up to a multiple of 3. So, basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to throw in 3 coal, which would take us up to 6 Ignis and 6 Potentia. And then we'll throw in 6 torches as well. That should take us up to 6 of each. And then if we throw 2 glowstone in there, we will get ourselves 2 Nitor. Now, the only problem with our little plan there is the glowstone part. We don't have any glowstone. So, we're going to have to make another portal. Now, I've seen other people do this, and apparently the nether is a pretty scary place. So, we are slightly well armored up. We're not like the best armored up that we possibly could be, but we seem to be pretty good. Let me see if we have any flint lying around. I thought we did, but we might actually not. Wow. Wow, okay, we don't have any flint. That's a bit of a shame. Can we make it easily? 2 gravel. Do we have any gravel? We must have gravel. Like, we must have gravel somewhere. Yes, we do. Okay, let's take 2 gravel, and boom. Nice. All right, let's get a flint and steel going. I am going to go ahead and just dump all of my inventory away, because I don't want to take more than I have to into the nether here, just in case we do actually go ahead and die. So I'm going to keep I'm going to need to keep my pickaxe, so I'll go grab that back in a second. But I'm just going to take the obsidian. I'm going to take my pickaxe so we can mine the glowstone. And I'm going to take my sword so I can defend myself. We should probably also grab a little bit of food before we go. Where are our apples? Our apples are there. Did we make a juicer? It's been so long since the end of last episode, I can't remember if we made a juicer. But nonetheless, we can always go ahead and make another one. If we do that and that gets to the juicer. And then we can make apple juice. I'm not going to make it all into apple juice because we still, of course, do need to eat a variety of foods. So apples could come in useful later on down the line. But for now, we'll go ahead and munch on a few of those. And my gosh, it takes forever on the third one. Let's go check our farm real quick. We should have a multitude of things. Yeah, look at this. We have some carrots. I will chomp on those. Got some potatoes. We'll eat some of those. I think we have like peanuts, carrots, and coffee beans. Apparently the coffee beans weren't done. The peanut is, so I'll take a peanut. Look at this. We're just eating like random foods. We'll take this, whatever this is. Grape. We'll take grape. And then finally, grape, which is not done. All right. Do we have... Oh, look, we got a lot of wheat, though. Let's take some wheat. Let's go back and make some bread. I'm still not sure what the heck is causing all those little noises that happen every now and again. They sound like little achievement dings. Like, ding, you did something right. But I have no idea what is actually causing that. And we'll go ahead and eat that. We could make it into toast, but we don't really need it. We are now on full hunger and full saturation, which is pretty awesome. And now, I've got to figure out where in the world I'm going to go ahead and stick down this nether portal. Because it's pretty loud. I'm not really a huge fan of having it too close to my base. I like to have it outside of earshot as much as possible. I think what we'll do for now is stick it down over here. Now, we're probably going to come back through somebody else's nether portal because they set theirs up first. But that's fine. 1, 2... Come on. This is just a pain. There we go. Did I get 3 there? I did. That's this jump. This jump is awesome, but it makes building here a real pain. Oh my goodness. That bread thing is firing at me from somewhere. I don't even know what the heck that is. We should go check it out. We should go see how much HP it has. This should give us a full nether portal. Let's light that back up when we head back. Let's see. Where is this thing at? I want to see at least where... I want to be able to fly for a start. That would be very nice. But I also want to see how much HP it's got. Because if we can kill it, that would probably give us quite a nice amount of stuff. I cannot see it around here. We'll have to wait around a little bit and see if it pops its head back up. But that thing looked scary. And I'm assuming that it had, like, just a ton of HP. I can also hear, like, a dog growling in the background, which does not fill me with confidence by any stretch of the imagination. Where is our flint and steel? It's there. All right. Where is that dog at? Where is the dog growling at me from? Huh. Oh, well. All right. Let's go see if we can get some glowstone. I'm scared. I have no idea what's going to happen here. This could go real bad real quick, but here we go. Let's see what happens. All we need is like 2 pieces of glowstone. That's it. There were also some nether mobs we could kill. I think there were some hunter mobs in the nether that we could also kill. But I'm mainly interested... You see there's a guy down there already. Mainly interested in the glowstone. I think there were a couple of mobs that are going to throw us up into the sky, which I'm scared about, but thankfully we have our like drop resistance. I'm going to put a waypoint down here just so I don't lose the portal. I don't want to not be able to find my way back and just be stuck in here forever and ever. I don't think that would make for a very fun series if I didn't get out of here. Well, if I didn't get out of here alive, that wouldn't be surprising. But if I didn't get out of here ever and we had to spend the rest of our days in here, I don't think that would make for such a good series. There is some glowstone there. I'm a bit dubious, like super scared about going over the lava because I hear there are a lot of monsters that are going to try and push us into the lava, and although we have fairly good armor, it's not fire resistant by any stretch of the imagination, so doing stuff like this is not recommended at all. If anything fires at us right now... Oh, jeez, come on, just get the... Don't be greedy, Isaac, don't be greedy. Falls enough. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm done. I'm done. Alright, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. We're probably going to come back at somebody else's base. Oh, wow, we didn't. That's cool. Okay, let's head back, and let's finish this up. So we're going to need 3... Oh, there's our D again. We're going to need 3 coal, 6 torches, and 2 glowstone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll take all of that. Glowstone we've got. Torches, I think we have some spare lying around somewhere. But then again, even if we don't, we can just go ahead and make some more fairly easily. Like so. I'm going to have to find out where in the world that dog is, because that dog is going to drive me insane. We've got a cow here. I don't... Oh my goodness, it's you! Sasquatch, what are you doing down here? No, what am I doing? Let me, yeah, no, I have no idea where it came from. This place is lit up. If I press F7, there were no lines on the floor at all. I have no idea where he came from. But anyway, once this thing is bubbling, it means it's ready to be used. Don't stand on top of it, because that does hurt you. If we go ahead and throw in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. No, that's not right. We want to throw in 3 of those. And if we kind of scan it with our Thaumonomicon, which we don't have. If I go grab the Thaumonomicon real quick and scan it, it should show us how much is in there. We also need a much better way of sorting all of our stuff out. But if we go ahead and just look. Oh, no. I thought it did. That's strange. But we'll do that. We'll throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if we throw in a glowstone and a glowstone, I'm fairly certain that should have given us a second Nitor. But it didn't. What did we do? We threw 3 in there, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that should have given us a second Nitor. But it's not. I'm going to stop wasting the glowstone. I'm going to break this. It's going to make a little bit of flux. Flux is not great. It got rid of the lava, though, which, I mean, is still actually not great. We could have used that. But what we can do now is we can go ahead and, well, I would have... What happened to that? Do we still have any of that? By the way, I used the Chisel mod to get these blocks. These mossy cobblestone and the blocks down there. It's basically just made using a chisel from the Chisel mod, which is... somewhere... This guy here, it's really simple to make. It's just a stick and an iron. Has no durability. And if we just, for instance, grab this and some cobblestone. Right-click. Nope. I just put that in a barrel. Right-click. Put some cobblestone in there. We can just make whatever we want. This cool cobblestone. I like it. It just gives it a little bit more variety for what you're going to make. And I believe this is what we're using there. It is. Very nice indeed. We'll stick that back down. But now what we can do is we can go ahead and grab our Nitor. And we can heat up our cauldron up here. So we can put it down like here, for example. That is going to make a hole in the floor. That's fine. Put you there. And now we can just put water in there, and that would work just as well. So that's our little start to Thorncraft there. There's a bunch of other stuff we could set up. And one of the next things that we need to do is if we look in the library and look at the Thaumonomicon, we need to go ahead and we need to work our way down here. We need to make some argumentum, which, again, if we grab some paper and some scribing tools, shouldn't be all that hard to make if we have the research, which we probably don't, actually thinking about it now. But if we... throw you and you in there. Oh, no, this one just requires Ignis and Potentia. That's actually fairly easy. Now, I believe, yeah, there's just... these early ones are actually fairly easy. Later on down the line, we're going to get some more complicated ones. But for now, we can just do that again, and that allows us to unlock argumentum. And if we go ahead and take a look again, it's very similar to the way Nitor's made. In this time, you just throw in this stuff here, this Pedito, instead of Lux, and then you throw in coal instead of glowstone, and you get argumentum, which is really just like a substitute for coal. It's like a really good piece of coal. It burns for a lot longer. Really good in furnaces, and if you're playing in a tech mod, it's really good for like steam generators and stuff like that. But anyway, we're not going to make any of that just yet. We don't really need it. Between episodes, I will probably go ahead and do quite a bit more research and scanning, because we got an ore node. We can scan this. We got 35 order and 29 terror. We can actually go ahead and fill our wand up with that a little bit. Where's our iron-capped wooden wand at? If we right-click on this ore node, we should be able to start pulling some stuff out of it. And if we hold down shift, you can see that up in the top left there, our terror and our order are filling up. Now, you do want to be careful. You can actually empty these. You don't want to, because if you leave them with a little bit of aspect left in them, for example, we're almost out of terror right now. But if we leave it with a little bit left in, it will regenerate. Whereas if we pull it all out, it will not. So we've got to be careful. But we have gone ahead and filled it up, so we didn't really need to worry about that. But just bear that in mind whilst you're working with Thorncraft. But yeah, I'll go ahead and do a bunch of research between episodes. I'll scan a bunch of stuff. I don't really think you need to see me do this over and over and over again. It's very repetitive and very similar. So I'll do that between episodes. One of the last things I want to cover this episode is I want to get rid of these barrels. They're annoying me to no end. And I would like to replace them with shelves from BiblioCraft. I never really use these all that much. We can use the potion shelves, which I think you can only put potions on. But then there are these ones, these oak shelves, which are actually pretty cool. So if we take some wood, and actually, do we have some planks already lying around somewhere? I think we do. Let's take you, and... oh, maybe not. Alright, that's fine. We can go ahead and make ourselves some of these shelves. So what did they need? They needed one of these, and then just boom, boom. There we go. We'll take 3. So I'm not quite sure where I want to put these yet. I might just use them to, let me take all this out and kind of break this guy. I might use them just where these barrels are right now, but basically what these do is they don't hold as much, but I think they look a little bit nicer. Let's take all that wood out and stick you down there. And I'd like to have quite a few of these down. I'd like to even maybe replace chests with these. And basically what you can do is if we just right-click on them, you can kind of access this little internal inventory they have. But you can also go ahead and just right-click with a thing with any item on a slot, and basically each slot holds a stack of stuff. So if we're looking here now, you can see we've got a stack of wood in each section there. We could go ahead and grab another stack and fill that one up. But if you want to take it off, all you got to do is just right-click and then right-click to put it back. So it's a nice, easy way to see how much stuff to see what you have around. So instead of having all these chests, I'm thinking about having just like a couple of these shelves around the place, and I won't put that there just yet. I'll put some redstone in. But if we use these shelves kind of around the base, what we can do is we can see where stuff is. So instead of having to search through a bunch of chests to try and find something, we can just look around and be like, oh, the redstone's over there, or oh, the oak wood's there, etc., etc. So I think what I might do as well between episodes is try and get some sort of organizational system going where we have quite a few of these just dotted around here and there. We have a ton of wood. Like I said earlier, this isn't really too much of an issue. It's not going to be too much of an issue for us to try and fill all these up. Let's go ahead and take all the coal. We can stick you down in there as well. Like I say, you can open it up and access it. I wonder if you can like shift right click. Yeah, okay. If you shift right click, it allows you to open it up if you don't have like an empty hand and an empty slot, which is kind of useful. We've also got a lot of dirt and a lot of cobblestone. Cobblestone I might leave in a chest somewhere because that would take up a lot of shelves. I think these look kind of cool. I did them before a long time ago when I played Hexed, but I'll probably go ahead and throw those down all around between episodes. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like it. Between episodes, I will try and go ahead and get my hunter level up. By the way, you can hit the arrow keys whilst you're on this page to see what these are actually called. But I'll try and get my hunter level up, see if we can get to level 12, at which point we can go ahead and fight some mobs and unlock the stuff so we can fight the Smash Boss, which I would like to do at some point. I'll also do some research when we come back next episode. We might be able to make the arcane ball and get some infusion going. I'll probably also at some point try and set up a little Thorncraft room somewhere around here. I'll probably make like a tunnel that connects the two together so we can do our Thorncraft stuff in one place, because we do actually need quite a bit of space to get all the Thorncraft stuff up and running. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think we should do next, and I will see you guys next time.